Here is the presenter, who is not actually here in any separate capacity, but appearing in the exact same way as the wall and the floor. There is no consciousness here. Here is an attendee, also not here in any separate capacity, and also appearing in the same way as the wall and floor. There is no consciousness here. Both have brains, however, let's have a closer look. This is really a prediction machine, which if you look, is facing backwards. It can only predict from a past perspective. So, while this, as an appearance, is always new and fresh, the brain turns everything into, same old, same old. As we discovered in the last video, there is no actual ethereal consciousness, just a rich model of information that the brain reads as consciousness. Basically, it's like having a drawn-up diagram of consciousness rather than the real thing. Yep, consciousness is fake. And it's this fake consciousness that's creating the whole illusory sense of separation in the first place. Right here, in two sections of the brain, it models not just itself as having awareness, but also other having awareness. But remember, it's only a model and not the real thing. Hang on, back it up a bit. Pissed off with duality? Here are the two possible locations of the illusion. Two boring names, but they do two things. They track the attention of other and attention of a self as if it was other too. This is why we think we have a self. Damage to these areas, you don't have the tracking of attention and you don't have a sense of awareness. Aha, you might say. These spots here are busy processing and creating the sense of duality. And it's these two spots that make humans want to put consciousness onto all sorts of things. We want to stick it onto nature, statues, ghosts, angels, demons. We hope aliens will have it. We want a God to have it. Otherwise, what would be the point? If God doesn't have awareness of us and our plight and the injustices we encounter, not to mention our attempts at prayer and deep meditation, but with awareness not being the awareness we think it is, well, the brain of the attendee is predicting other onto the presenter. And not just that, it gives the presenter an awareness that seems to realise something monumental. So monumental it predicts this other knows something super special. It is sure the other has a grand and spiritual perception. The brain can only actually read its own made-up code on itself and other, so it never, ever, ever sees anything but its own coded perception. The presenter says,
"This is all there is."
As in literally, this is all there is. But an attendee's brain may be predicting more, predicting it is real, other is real, and that the presenter has something special, no consciousness, while it assuredly has consciousness. It then may predict something interesting. It may predict an emotion about that, like a sense of frustration, sadness, anger, fear, FOMO. So from the brain reading its own code, it predicts an emotion at not being able to see what the presenter is seeing. Now, guess what isn't anywhere in the body? Emotions. There are no emotions inside any body. They aren't found anywhere. The brain predicts a perception, predicts a feeling about that. It then obligingly constructs a cascade of tightened muscles or heat or a felt experience of different and totally unique set of occurrences and then lazily calls it one of the known emotions, even though there is nothing that is actual sadness, actual anger, frustration, actual any emotion. Science has only recently been turned on its head. No longer is it considered true that the brain has emotions stored in the limbic brain that's ready to rise up and swamp you. Instead, it makes a prediction from the past, constructs a response, the brain lazily labels it, and voila. Now, of course, the brain doesn't stop being a prediction machine in the same way the gallbladder won't stop squirting bile after being to a non-duality meeting. The predictions and illusory constructions will in some form probably continue. In the same way we still say the sun sets, even though it doesn't. In the same way white looks white, even though there is no such thing. In the same way we think we see, even though nothing is ever seeing outwards, but instead light waves are entering the eye. The presenter may say,
There isn't anyone here, and there's no one there either. There is just appearance.
This sounds bonkers, especially when, in the story anyhow, many attendees have been to the traditional non-duality down the road.
This here is your true self. I have found it. My ethereal awareness is the same as the oneness awareness of everything. I'm now divine because of this awareness. Awareness is not in us. We are in awareness. If you clean up your emotions and find the true stillness and silence of pure awareness, you can become an enlightened authority too.
Right. So, back in this radical non-duality meeting. No awareness, just as what is being discovered in neuroscience. No emotions either, just as being discovered in neuroscience, so nothing to clean up. Awareness is an illusion that strictly needs the biology of a brain to create the specific illusion of an aware self. So it's not likely that there is a big brain somewhere that is also coding a fake awareness that's giving itself the impression it has awareness of itself and other. So no big divine other out there. Is this bad news? It can be enormous relief. Maybe in the appearance there'll seem to be others very upset that there is no God and no other and no awareness that is divine. Does it feel nice to conclude you are awareness itself, the source of all, free of human baggage? Feels fabulous. Only problem is that there is no such thing. Now, the radical non-duality doesn't offer anyone anything, let alone any nice feelings. All it says is that there is just this as an appearance, and no one separate or with actual awareness. There is an appearance of the brain, even its ability in constructing illusions seem part of the appearance, but there is only appearance, and no one who could possibly know that. Non-duality isn't an achievement, it's just pointing to how it already is. While it may seem like there is a drop of consciousness, it's really just exactly how it is anyhow. So while an appearance of a backward-looking, unbelievably lazy, illusory constructing brain may enter the meeting room, it already doesn't have an awareness it needs to drop. There is no one else in the room with the right knowledge to become like. There is just the appearance of what seems like a room of people, but no one with bona fide awareness. It seems like things are happening according to the brain constructing illusions. Seems like knowledge appearing. Seems like awareness, even though it's fake. But without actual awareness, who can really say? Nothing already appearing as everything. No one to divide up the everything. Mentally dividing something isn't actual division. Ever tried to mentally divide up a cake?
No matter how hard I try, it remains whole and complete.
Well, exactly.